Hello. So today I want to talk about our mind and mastery of our mind. And I want to go back to the yogis, the old yogis. This one's Patanjali, who lived back in India back in the day, who was understood as the creator of the Yoga Sutras and the 8 limbs of yoga. One of the things he said was Yoga Chitta, vritti, nirodha, which means yoga is a cessation of the fluctuations of consciousness, or yoga is a cessation of the misidentifications, of the modifications of the mind, or in Western speak, how to get a handle on the endless monkey mind, monkey chatter that we all seem to be afflicted by in this day and age. Scientists tell us that we are thinking between 10,000 and 60,000 thoughts a day. I can attest that some of the yogis and meditators and beings from the elder cultures who are less inclined to be living in their head 24/7, maybe a little less than that. Nevertheless, that's a lot of activity that just sort of seems to sometimes happen. Our thoughts are influenced by many things. The past is a big one. The future, another one. Groupthink, that's a big one. Don't think outside what the group thinks, or the groups, or the subgroups, or the subgroups of the subgroups, or the algorithms, or the accepted programming of our environment. So a good place to start is within the idea of the present moment. Everything is happening in the present moment, irrespective of whether we're thinking about the past. We're still thinking about it from the perspective of the present, or whether we're anticipating an idea of the future. Again, it's still happening in the present. So that's a power place. That's a clear-minded perception to help anchor the mind into what is happening, and to gain some seniority over the endless monkey chatter. The other thing you can think about, the idea that we are creating our reality, creating our experience with our thoughts. And what, if you imagine that you're a gardener and there's a garden in front of you, and everything you put into that garden grows. Or if you were a child, when you used to play with Play-Doh or plasticine, and you would mold it with your hands. In the same way, our mind and our thoughts and our feelings mold our reality and shape it energetically and materialistically. So imagine imagine you're a gardener, and one of the things that you want to do is can be a lot of mind activity in that garden that you're tending to. And one way to get some space within that garden is through the use of mantra. Now, mantra is a big It can be a misinterpreted word. It's a Sanskrit word, but essentially it's an affirmation spoken out loud. Could be a chant, could be whatever it is, to cut through and get a hold of the mind, stop the mind chatter, and to choose which seeds you want to plant in your garden. So one of the ones that I use, I'll share it with you, is I'll sit, sometimes I'll walk with this, because it's actually I like to anchor in my practices in movement as much as I can too, because it changes my physiology and my breathing. I'll put some music on. I'll change it up a lot, actually. Ride my bike, rollerblade, sit, walk, run, swim, all the things, dance. But the ones that's a good one that I will share with you, and feel free to try it on if it inspires you, is starting with the mantra, I prefer. I prefer. So it's recognizing that I have a choice and I have a preference of anything. The next one is I allow. So I allow what I prefer into my experience. And then the next one is I enjoy. And then I give thanks. So I prefer, I allow, I enjoy, I give thanks. Stops the mind. All the chatter goes away. I anchor myself in my I am right here with my Play-Doh. I prefer, I allow, I enjoy, I give thanks. Now one can add on anything after those words. I prefer peace. I allow peace. I enjoy peace. I give thanks to peace. I prefer creativity. I allow creativity. I enjoy creativity. I give thanks for creativity. And so on and so on. Vitality, clarity, abundance, amusement, strength, health, wealth, focus, anything. A bountiful, beautiful planet, balanced ecosystems, whatever one can imagine for oneself, to anchor that vibration in and clear the mind with that. And there's the idea of as above, so below, within as within, so without. Energetically, this is what's happening in the mind. The mind is extremely powerful. And you combine the mind with emotions anchored in the present time. And I prefer the freedom of that. I allow that freedom. I enjoy freedom. I give thanks for freedom. So thank you, and try it out. Let me know. See what happens. Watch what happens in your experience as you magnetically co-create with the Play-Doh and the garden and the plasticine and the power of your mind and your heart and your nervous system and your aura and your kundalini and your cells and your environment and the stars and all of creation. Blessings to you.